NBL Canada basketball is back, and basketball is back in Windsor. We welcome you to the WFCU Center in the Rose City, Windsor, Ontario, for the 2018-19 NBL Canada season. Tonight, the Sudbury Five, the new kids on the block, against the Windsor Express. And howdy, hey, happy basketball New Year, everybody, and good evening. Aaron Sanders with Tate Harris. JP Justin Prince will join us in the next game, but first and foremost, Tate, let me tell you, it's an honor and privilege to have you here as part of the broadcasting crew this year. This is going to be a good time.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you're having me.
Hey, anytime, anytime. Let's begin the story by addressing the folks down at Sudbury. This is a team you really want to watch. This is a team that has worked tooth and nail throughout the whole offseason to give you a great product. And in addition to that, Tate Harris, they are spearheaded by the coach and general manager, who's a well-known figure in this league, Logan Stutz. After retiring, after playing 2 years in the NBLC, he's got a coach, he got a team he could call his own.
Yeah, well, anyone that knows me knows that I really care about the jerseys, the product, everything about it. I like the way they look. They look very professional. I think that's great for an expansion team. And it looks like he's got 6 NBL players with experience, or sorry, 6 players with NBL experience. So he's going to have a team, and they might have a chance to make the playoffs right off the bat.
Absolutely. When you have experience like that, you have a lot of expectations. In addition to all that, there are 2 former players that used to play for the Express. Braylon Rayson, who's going to get the start, and Antoine Chandler, who came off the bench. So it's safe to say it's a homecoming for a couple of players, including the head coach as well.
Yeah, for anybody, especially the coach tonight, too. You come into a building that you played before, you want to win. And it's expected that your team plays for you to get you that win.
Absolutely. Now we switch things over to the Windsor Express. It's safe to say they are a new team as well. This is a brand new squad. In addition to that, only one player coming back from last year, Anthony Otley Jr., but he has some help. He has some key veteran players as well.
Yeah, the way I see it, the NBL Canada, it's kind of like a small town where everyone's maybe played with each other on various cities, different teams. So I'm not sure chemistry will be an issue. I think these guys already know each other, and when we were walking out there, we've seen them all together, pumping each other up, and I think they're going to work really well, really quickly.
And you're going to see a video of that later on Twitter, I'm sure. But, you know, in addition to all that, it's quite interesting to see how this Windsor Express team goes. I mean, you've been there for training camp, and there are a couple of players that caught your eye.
Yeah, Richard Armardi is one of the guys that caught my eye. He played for the Raptors 905 last year, had diminishing minutes, and then signed with the London Lightning in the offseason, got released. So this guy's got a chip on his shoulder. I like that the Express signed him because he's got something to prove, and I think he's going to prove it.
And somebody that knows this Express team real well, won the championship back in 2015, Ryan Anderson. I mentioned in NBL Canada storylines that, you know what, there is no pressure to him when it comes to repeating the same success he had over in London the last few years, because the success all started here in the Rose City.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson's one of those guys that I think is a great locker room guy. The team loves him. You can tell the guys really like him. He's a guy that can hit threes, too. He has a record for most three-pointers in a game in the NBL. So it's going to be interesting to see if they get him the ball tonight and try to get him that open look to hit that three.
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
We're locked in. We're locked in. We're loaded for the 2018-19 season. And now the first game is going to start in a matter of moments. The Sudbury Five and the Windsor Express. We'll be back in a few moments. We'll get you the starting lineups, and we'll have the national anthem right after these words. You're watching Windsor Express basketball. All right, we are back at the WFCU Center in Windsor, Ontario. We're about to get things underway with the player introductions, and for that, we're going to send things over to the public address announcer, Mark Knight.
The sponsor partners, the fans, the city, the volunteers, and the players and coaches over the last 6 years for bringing us some fantastic entertainment in the city of Windsor. Give them a round of applause. The Windsor Express organization believes in pro basketball in the city of Windsor. We work very hard to bring you a high-level, high-quality basketball. The National Basketball League of Canada assists us with that. But we need, most importantly, are the people in those seats to my left, to my right, and behind me. We need you to make sure that we continue our efforts to bring the best entertainment in our area. Give yourselves a round of applause for doing that. Like any other family member, when you've been around that family member, there's nothing that they won't do, and there's nothing that they won't ask of you. If you look to your right and you look to your left, there's people that you know. Windsor's a small community. I want you to personally reach out to each and every one of your community members and tell them what you see here tonight, and you tell them come out and support our pro basketball in Windsor. So let's do that. Let's have a great season. Let's cheer the boys on.
If you can, and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by members of the Windsor Symphony Youth Orchestra. Joining our friends from the WSO at center court carrying the Canadian flag is Duncan Wilson, who is our father of the game. The Windsor Express and Curtis J.K. Printing would like to acknowledge and show our appreciation to our dedicated fathers all season long by highlighting someone new each game. Thanks to Duncan and Curtis J.K. Printing.
So as you can see here, the Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins with a ceremonial ball toss as we welcome you back up in the media booth here at the WFCU Center. Aaron Sanders, Tate Harris, and the entire crew here working this great express game. And Tate, as you could see during the ceremonial ball toss, both of these clubs are raring and ready to go. It's just a matter of the ball being tipped, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I was just about to say, Drew's coming off a win himself there recently.
Oh, yes,
winning
the municipal election earlier this month.
So he's probably giving Miroslav there a tip on how to win, I think.
Yeah, how about that? So you see both of the players sizing up right there. Once again, we're not the only game on the docket tonight. We see the Hurricanes and the Moncton Magic going on. And now we're going to go back to Mark Knight, who will introduce the full roster for the 2018-19 Windsor Express. The starting lineups being introduced, or the full roster rather. Sudbury 5 is about to embark on their first ever franchise game. The Windsor Express, as you've seen there, the motto is full steam ahead. And for the 7th year in a row, they're about to get things started. I mean, you can feel the electricity in the WFCU Center, no question about it, Tate. So We're going to be in for a good ride tonight.
Yeah, it's just so loud. I'm having trouble hearing you almost. So
what was that?
So it's great to see the turnout tonight and to see the fans support this team tonight.
Absolutely. So Logan Stutz spearheading the whole Sudbury 5 organization and his first year. As we check out the starting lineups for Sudbury, number 1, Jalen Bland, followed by Braylon Rayson. Corey Dixon will wear number 4. Travis Relaford, well-known NBL Canada player, and Tyrell Tate will round out the field. So if you look at it really closely, you see 3 players starting for the Sudbury 5 that has NBL Canada experience. And then you see the Windsor Express. There they are in red. Brian Anderson will start, followed by Ryan Anderson, Richard Armati, Horace Wormley. And among all the others there, this is going to be an interesting game.
Yeah, we got Juan out there as well starting, and you got Brian Addison as well. So,
well, 2018-19 NBL Canada season is underway, and the Sudbury 5 gets their first tap of the ball game. Jalen Bland outside for 3, and there's the first 3 points in the Sudbury 5 history. That's going to be a trivia question in years to come. That's Jalen Bland for 3. Just underway here at the WFCU Center. We're glad you're joining us here live on Windsor Express TV. It's Reggie Hamilton inside into Patillo. Fires away. Got it from near the free throw line. That's some type of shot you really want to get going, especially with the record that Juan Patillo has had in the last number of years. You see Tyrell Tate with the ball. Skips it right down to Rayson. Former Express. Misses a 3. Here's Anderson down to the court. Wormley. And Anderson will conduct it from the wing. Anderson gets the pick from Patillo. Finds Patillo. He gets him. Fires it from the elbow. No good. The quick rebound down there. Sudbury 5 on the move. Tyrell Tate up and no good. Fighting for the ball. This time, Corey Dixon gets the shot to go.
On that last play with the Express, you kind of seen Juan maybe open a little early. Anderson maybe delayed the pass, so maybe got to get that quicker.
Sudbury on the board. 5-2 is the score. Quick shot outside. That's no good. And once again, Sudbury showing extreme presence down on the glass as Rayson has the ball. Bland off the pick, finding Relaford. Skips it outside, quick steal, Patillo with the hands. Here comes the Express, 2-on-3 disadvantage, but Wormley says nothing to it. Slams it home! Oh my! You talk about an emphatic statement. My goodness.
He has that chip on his shoulder, and you're seeing it right away here.
That's Richard Armati's first points in the Express blue, red and black. And it's stolen away again. Wormley trying to go for the charge, and he'll get the first foul of the game.
Ryan Anderson with 2 steals there, really giving the pressure to the 5 and coming back. And they didn't convert on the 1, but they got the second one there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Richard Armati, for a lot of NBL faithful, know that there's such thing called a Armati party, and we're going to get that here in the Rose City. We go back to live action. Patillo handling the ball, and here's Armati. Armati outside. Put her there. So the Express regain the lead, 7-5 with 9:27 remaining in the opening quarter of this 2018-19 season. Rayson shoves off, fires it off, no good. Wormley on the attack. He drives through the heart of the defense. Patillo, no good. And there goes the Sudbury 5 again. Relaford spinning up and no good. He blows it. Express on the attack again. Armati leading it. Goes inside the post. Fires it. No good, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Armati coming out strong here.
Sudbury foul number 42.
This is something a lot of people would expect, especially when it comes to Richard Armati, no stranger to the NBLC.
Yeah, he played for the Brampton A's originally, and then went over to the River Lions. Then found himself with the Raptors 905 in the G League. Now he's back here in the NBLC.
Well, considering how long the NBLC has been running, you see a lot of players from this league exactly getting the call to play in the pros, and he was one of them, averaging 5.5 points per game in addition to 2.7 rebounds per game. I mean, a lot of people say that's not big, but what is big is the fact that he got the call up, but he misses the second free throw. That's something somebody's got to, you know, take credit for. And that's what Marty does.
I'm not sure if you saw, he had a CBC documentary on him about having that shot with the Raptors 905.
Jalen Bland from downtown knocks it a go. And yes, the CBC was so kind to Armadi. In addition to that, somebody else got a documentary all to himself in the name of Carl English, who plays for the St. John's Edge. We'll see them Wednesday night. Wormley misses the three. Rebound Relaford. 8:20 remaining. Tie ball game at 8. Another three from the outside. No good. And as you could tell, Horace Wormley is now the general of the team, replacing Maurice Jones, who got traded and is now part of the St. John's. We're seeing a lot of people that are going to get their Windsor homecoming in only in the first 2 games, as that shot don't go.
Well, we heard Coach Bill say he knows he gave up a all-star in Maurice Jones, but he feels like Horace is more vocal and can set up those plays.
Big-time slam from Travis Relaford with the right-hand hammer. Gives the 5 the lead again. And you're right about that. Looking at the article in which he described Horace Wormley, this is a guy that's very vocal, so he will not stay mum for a second. You'll hear a lot of communication from the Windsor Express this year. 7 on the shot clock. The crossover, the shot from the free throw line. It's good. It's good for Brian Addison. Tyrell Tate tries to respond with a 3. That's a whiffer. Dixon gets the ball back around, and now Raceland going one-on-one with Wormley. 7:08 remaining in the first. Gets the pick from Relaford. Dixon got it to go. So Corey Dixon on the roll as the Sudbury 5 lead 12-10. Patillo up top. Here's Wormley again. Anderson, catch and shoot. That's what he did for the London Lightning, and he connects with the 3. One of your players you wanted to watch, and boy, howdy, you got him.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson again with 13 three-pointers last year in the 2017 year. Was the record for the NBLC.
The quick basket is good. Tyrell Tate taking care of business, and it's now 14-13. Windsor Express had a very rough season last year, ended up with a 2020 record, got eliminated the first round. Alley, failed as the Sudbury 5 gets the ball. And Dixon gets the and 1. He'll go to the free throw line. Once again, the Windsor Express with a 20-20 record last season did not fare well with the St. John's Edge, getting eliminated in 3 straight games. The first 2 games were pretty close. The first game went to double overtime. The second game went in the Edge's hands, but the Express did not have enough steam to extend this series into a Game 4 as they lost it on this very home court a matter of months ago.
Yeah, they're definitely expecting a bigger year. Even on the first day of camp, Coach Bill Jones told me he wants a championship this year.
And can you blame him with all the star talent that he has?
Oh, I expect it as well.
Absolutely. So the Express, one of the few teams you got to look after. As that free throw don't go, Patello loses control of the ball, but it got tipped away, so they'll get it back. I'm sure they're going to have a confirmation. No, never mind. It will be a substitution. So we're going to see a substitution made on the floor, and we're going to see Grandy Glaze's first appearance in the Sudbury 5 uniform. He checks in. Under 6 to go. Otley Jr. And now Wormley gets the ball back. The kick out. Patillo misses it.
Grandy Glaze is one of the players that represented the FIBA Canada team earlier this year.
So talk about representing the nation as that shot doesn't go. And immediately he gets the rebound. Loose ball on the floor, and here comes Anderson, who picks it up. Patillo slams it home. So what a welcome back for Juan Patillo in an Express uniform as he knocks down the hammer with the two hands. Loose ball again, another turnover. Here comes the Express, 2-on-2. Anderson resets, fires, gets it a go, knocks it from downtown.
As well as Anderson has been offensively, he's playing great defensively with the quick hands, getting a lot of steals tonight.
On the other end, Sudbury tried to get the ball back. We'll see what the situation is. It looked to be a Windsor Express foul. So they'll count the and one. And we're about to see DeAndre Thomas check in for the Express as he'll replace Brian Addison.
Story of the night, again, another return here in Windsor.
And DeAndre Thomas, well known for the championship run back in 2014. We're going to have a media timeout, however. It is Windsor Express 18, Sudbury 5-17. We'll step aside for a quick break, and we'll come back for a continuation of the first quarter after these messages. We're back at the WFCU Center. You can see the score, 18-17, the Express with the lead, but the Sudbury 5 holding their own. This is a team, Tate, which a lot of teams and a lot of people are making a lot of hoopla of because of their acquisitions and their business off court. And you even said, too, you were excited about the identity and everything else. What are you seeing from this team so far?
Oh, I'm seeing them work really well together defensively. They got a few stops in there, but it's the steals that I like, and then getting up court quickly to try to convert on the play.
Well put right there. We're going to go back from the media timeout. And the Windsor Express, they look pretty well in sync. Not a lot of turnovers, and we're seeing a lot of stuff done down on the post. We've seen earlier Juan Patillo slamming it home. Like, my goodness, this is what happens when you have that type of chemistry. But we got to remember here, this is only the first game of 40. Anything could happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's still a close game, and I think each team's kind of playing equally right now and converting on the chances they're getting. I think Windsor's fouling a little more than they would like.
All right, this is Jalen Bland at the line, converting on the three-point play as we have a substitution on the floor. It's the Sudbury native, George Cerise. A lot of people in the Nickel City know a thing or two about him. That hometown native that played college in Laurentian University, and he previously played overseas as well. As Wormley gets the easy deuce to go.
Wormley listed at 5'7", but can get in there. He's not worried about the big bodies around him.
No, this is the type of guy that played with a Riptide team that has a lot of power and a lot of muscle, the ability to work well off the transition, so he picked up a couple of cliff notes from there.
In the game for Sudbury, number 3,
Adam Blazik comes in for the Sudbury 5. You know, it's quite interesting that Adam Blazik, all the years he played in the NBLC, they've all been with teams who were playing their inaugural year. 15-16 Niagara River Lions, and the year after that was a part of the inaugural season for the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. Now he's part of another inaugural team, so it's quite interesting. Anderson steals it away. He'll drive, he'll fire, kisses it off the glass, and good night. So the Express take a 4-point lead. Grandy Glaze through two defenders. Oh, dipsy doodle pass inside, but the big clip in, that's a foul.
Yeah, it was a hard foul by Thomas, but he wanted to make sure he didn't get that shot off where they could convert on another three-point play.
The one thing Thomas has been known for in the NBLC is his no-nonsense style. He'll deliver the power if need be, and it's safe to say that was a need-be basis. But you know what? It's quite interesting to see him back in the Express uniform. Last year did not get a lot of playing time for the London Lightning. Got cut at the beginning of the year to play in the now TBL with the Albany Patroons. They lost in the finals against the Yakima Sun Kings, but still, to have a big guy like him come back brings a lot of promise to this Windsor Express franchise. And he gets the ball. That's the broadcaster's friendly bounce. Quick three, rims out. And here they come again. Devin Gilligan is into the game for Sudbury. As Glaze on the kick out, and it will be traveling. So once again, a competitive game so far, and the Sudbury 5 holding their own in their first ever franchise game. 3:30 remaining in the first. Thomas goes to work with the beauty footwork and the bucket.
When you have a big guy backing you up like that, it's hard to stop him from moving your body.
D-Train gets the fadeaway to go. Now it's the 5's turn. Gilligan. Up and in. He'll go to the line for the and one. You're seeing a lot of force being displayed for the Sudbury 5. They are not bashful when it comes to going down to the hole.
No, and you're seeing them convert a lot of these plays as well, so a little troublesome for the Express because they're making the right play. It just seems to be falling in.
Absolutely. Well, Logan Stutz knows a thing or two in the NBL Canada. I mean, he did play there for the last couple of years, so he knew what he was thinking about when it comes to picking up these players, and it's been paying good dividends so far as they are down 2 with 3 minutes to go. Here's the back pass this time. Reggie Hamilton into the game. Quick three. No good. The fight for the ball, and Sudbury gets it back. Here's Tyrell Tate going coast to coast. What a finish. Tyrell Tate.
It's a great
getting
name,
the job
by the
done,
way.
yeah. Double T. Quick three from the outside. Oh, it's short, but on the putback, Ryan Anderson. Sudbury back at it. Here's Tate from the parking lot. Can't send it down. Express bring it up the timeline. Patillo from the free throw line. Misses it. And right on it, Grandy Glaze, former St. John's Edge player. Two minutes remaining in the opening quarter. It's been very eventful, and it's worth the price of admission, I'll tell you that. Quick three by Gilligan is good. So Gilligan knocks down the three, and the 5 regain the lead. Reggie Hamilton pass it. It's going to be an offensive foul. So you could tell the difference immediately. The Express are very generous. They don't hog the ball. If they find an open man, they'll let him take care of business too. And once again, this is something you got to expect from a team that averaged 108 points per game last year, 3rd in the league.
Well, ball movement definitely helps with getting the points. It separates you from the other players and gives you the opportunity to throw some screens and maybe get an open shot.
I second that motion. Back to the action. The Sudbury 5 try to get it in, but Glandy Glaze gets the follow. It's a 3-point game. Hamilton on the pass. It gets picked off. Almost got picked off. Loose ball on the floor. Here comes the 5. The lob. The miss. Glaze fades away. Can't get it to go. DeAndre Thomas with the rebound. Hamilton, the high pass to Anderson. The Anderson-Anderson connection. DeAndre will get the basket. Oh, me, oh, my. There's a train a-coming.
He's got to be feeling good about himself after that one with a nice spin move and off the backboard and in.
If there's one thing DeAndre Thomas is known for, is his post work, a very underrated trait in the game of basketball today.
You know, I talked about Richard Amarty having a chip on his shoulder, but this has to be a guy that has one as well.
Absolutely. Big time chip. It's DeAndre Thomas goes to the line. Misses the three-point play. Has a 5, get it back. Under a minute to go in the first. Here's the pass. Blazik gets it back on the far corner. Bland knocks down the triple. So no matter what, you can't have them hand down, because it's like the old saying, hand down, man down. And Anderson knows something about that as he knocks down the 3. So you can call that a rebuttal if you will. The Express are now down 1. Shot clock, game clock, very identical. 15 seconds. Tyrell Tate with the force and the finish. Shot clock dead now, down to 9. Reggie Hamilton. Anderson downtown, no good. The putback by Otley Jr. is no good, and that closes out the first quarter. Me, oh my, what an eventful first quarter. It's the Sudbury 5-34, the Windsor Express 31. And now it's time to head down to the court with the third member of our broadcast crew. Let's send it down to Jordan Ferris. Jordan? All right, we got some quick technical difficulties down to the court side, so we'll go back to Jordan later. Tate Harris, I'm going to bring you back in. Your thoughts on the first quarter?
You know what? I thought it was a pretty even game for both teams there. I'm impressed by the 5, you know. You got a lot of first-year players on that team. I know they were coming in with 6 players with NBL experience, but a lot of the new players are getting their feet wet, converting on plays.
Well, you were a part of the draft combine a couple of months ago. You've seen all the potential players down there, but you've seen a gleam of confidence in Logan Stutz, who is the GM and the head coach of the 5. So it's safe to say he picked a couple of good players with some great experience and who want some time on the court.
Yeah, and when you play in the league, you obviously know what type of players are going to work in the league. So when he's picking those first-year players, he probably has an idea of who's going to play well and who's going to actually put up some points and get his team some wins.
Absolutely. We're going to have a quick update here around the league. We got 2 games going on here. The Cape Breton Highlanders are doing battle at the Eastlink Center against the Island Storm. There was a game that was postponed last night due to inclement weather. They're playing that now. The Island Storm up 59-56. And over in the third quarter, in the brand spanking new Avenir Center in Moncton, the Moncton Magic take a 10-point lead against the Halifax Hurricanes, 49-39. And you know the story here. 34-31 is the score as we are about to get underway here in the second quarter. As we see the dance number wrapping up here. But you got to be amazed at the turnout here tonight. My goodness.
Yeah, it's very impressive. For myself, getting a little nervous seeing all these people walk in.
Yeah.
First time doing this, so it's a little nerve-wracking. It looks like the dancers are still going here.
I think they're doing something called an ad lib.
It kind of reminds me of the 8 Mile scene where he says, you know what, I'll go a cappella and continue the battle. So I think their teacher's coming here to let them know to wrap up. Hey, if you get that moment to shine, you got to take it. Right?
You got your 15 minutes of fame. That's why we're giving them the moment. There we go. There we go. Entertainment wall to wall. What can you say?
Yeah, it just doesn't stop.
All right, the entertainment portion, the spectacle is over. We get back to the game. Second quarter here, we welcome you back. 3-point lead, I'm Aaron Sanders, joined by Tate Harris. Jordan Ferris will be downstairs. We'll check in with him soon and later. It's been a very eventful game so far. Game 1 of the NBL Canada season between these two teams. And we're right back at it. Reggie Hamilton with the ball. One of the players the Express picked up right before the season started. Otley Jr., the fake, the kick out. Hamilton, Trey, good.
You know, Hamilton's one of those players that he played in Argentina and Poland, and that's what I love about basketball. A lot of these guys got to experience life and travel around the world just playing a sport they love.
Absolutely. It all works around the world, and you could see that basketball is rising at a terrific rate. The popularity is going high here in Canada, and that's where the chances come in. When you're able to play internationally, it just stirs up wonders and opens up way more opportunities because you're going to have a whole lot of eyes staring at you and scouting you as well.
Yeah, not to plug myself here, Aaron, but I did do an article on the growth of basketball in Canada.
You don't say.
And if you want to go to themediaplex.com and search Tate Harris, you can read that article.
You know what? I'm glad you mentioned that. This year, the Windsor Express will be broadcast by the help of the folks over at St. Clair College. We thank them for joining by and helping us in the broadcast this year. This is going to be a terrific year with such a great group of people like yourself around here. So we go back to this game as it's all knotted up, 34 apiece. DeAndre Thomas gets the ball poked around. It'll stay the Express way. All right, as you can see, there's going to be a quick sideline inbounds pass. 21 seconds remaining on the shot clock, so plenty of much time to get a shot off.
Oh, they corrected that down to 20, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going to calibrate the shot clock right down.
14.
Which is the rule. If the ball's out of bounds on an offensive possession and the offense retains possession, it will be 14 seconds on the shot clock. That's a new rule in the NBLC. The crossover, the miss.
That was a good look for Reggie there.
Grayson,
Nice
double teamed, and he'll get the foul. So just underway here in the second quarter. And game 1 of 40 for both of these clubs. We got 2 other games going on. Like we said, we'll check in on those games at the halftime show as Rayson will guide the inbounds pass. Dixon out to Tate. Rayson gets it back on the near side. Steps back, falls away, and he misses it. And the Express on the move again. Hamilton lost focus there. Offensive foul. That'll be Reggie Hamilton's second foul, so he'll check out. And Sudbury will call a timeout here. We'll pause for a quick moment and we'll come back after this.
So public relations is like being a bridge between an organization and their public. As this public relations expert, you are a liaison, so you have to connect the brand or the business or the company with their public in such a way that the public responds to them in a positive manner. So the advantages of taking public relations at St. Clair College is that we have access to the Mediaplex. Now the Mediaplex offers us a converged education. It's one of 3 in the world and the only one in Canada. What that means is that we're taught in film, broadcast, radio, there's graphic design, we do event planning, we write all sorts of press releases, we work in tandem with the journalism club. So at the end of everything, you can communicate any professional message across any medium. So what do you think about public relations?
10:38 remaining here in the second quarter. Knotted up at 34. Neither team has scored since the start of the second. As you see, Relaford tried to drive. It's going to be out of bounds off his hands.
I think he was expecting a foul there, but it was all ball as they caught it there.
Once again, we apologize. We're going to go radio for a quick second here. If you're able to get the picture, you can see the tail for yourself. Quick pick away. Racing goes to work. Gets rejected by Utley Jr.
The lone player that came back to the Windsor Express having a big moment and showing why he may have been the lone guy picked to come back.
He's a guy that's very independent. He really heated up from the bench last year, which really helped out for the Express. Ryan Anderson comes back into the game meanwhile, as Sudbury has 16 seconds on the shot clock. Fade away Dixon, he fakes it. He'll fire it. It's no good. Quick rebound, gets poked around. The Sudbury 5 retains possession, second chance. Full shot clock. And it's poked away. Here comes the Express. Leapfrog. Wormley. The shot's missed by Armardi. My goodness.
You know, they had a big opportunity there. He had lots of time. Just unfortunate he couldn't get it to go.
Quick three. No good. Anderson sees the rebound. The Express have it of the court. Horace Wormley down to the wing. Thomas. The step. The shimmy and the shake. On the court, Luke Cochran, his first time in the Express uniform from Loomis, California, got signed during the summer. And this is one of the few players that also played in the TBL last season.
Yeah, he's very versatile. He's got the high-low post player. He's very good defensively as well. So we definitely got to keep an eye on him.
And here's Wormley going to the bucket, and he'll get stripped. He'll go to the line to shoot two. And this is the team last year that you did not want to go to the free throw line. Best in the league free throw wise, but 79%. So safe to say, Bill Jones had a lot of reliable players to rely on when it comes to going to the line.
Well, like even players in high school, when you're playing high school basketball, Coach Bill Jones likes to end the practice with his players practicing free throws.
Well, it's the discipline and the diligence that pays off, don't you think? We see Horace Wormley at the line. Not so bad at the free throw line himself. 84.5% last year as a part of the Riptide. And coming into this game, he was 113 points away from 1,000 career points in this league. So safe to say that he is knocking on that doorstep of that plateau.
Yeah, it's definitely a personal goal. He might not say it out loud that he wants to hit it, but it's definitely in the back of his mind.
And he gives the Express the lead again, 38-37 with 8:13 remaining. And the 5 turn it over. That was Dexter Williams who turned that ball over. So Express, like we said at the top of the telecast, looking like a completely different team, and you could see it's all talk but all action to back it up too, as Anderson has it. Pop-up three. Armardi misses it. And here comes Grandy Glaze. The blow-by and the reverse. Beautiful. Jalen Bland not only knocks down the first 3 points in Sudbury 5 history, but gives them quite an experience on the highlight reel after that reverse.
Yeah, probably their nicest basket yet.
Armardi blows the layup. Bland on the kick out, racing, corner three, no good.
And that's going to be a foul. Some frustration coming from Armardi there. It's a few missed open baskets that he's expecting to go down.
Here you see the coach, Bill Jones, down there been with the team since day one. And we're going to have a timeout called by Windsor, and it's a 1-point lead for the 5, 39-38. We'll keep it right here for the moment. You're going into Bill Jones's playbook. Tate, what do you do?
Well, I'm trying to get some more stops, and obviously defensively, they got to keep the shots coming from the outside because it looks like the Fives are getting those drives through, and we're seeing them convert on those three-point plays.
And you also mentioned the big guys, too. We're seeing Travis Relaford take care of business. Grandy Glaze being instrumental into sharing the ball, too. I mean, he's a big guy, but he knows how to do things. He could look up, and he could let the game play itself. So the transition game's been doing real well for the Sudbury 5.
Yeah, we've even seen Glaze be a little vocal with his teammates when he feels like he's open. He wants that ball, and if I'm the coach, I'm happy that my player wants the ball all the time.
Absolutely. Well, remember, Glaze and Logan Stutz know a thing or two on the court. Glaze last year played for the St. John's Edge, and Stutz played for the Windsor Express last season. And funny enough, two rivals, well, I wouldn't say rivals, but team rivals, joining up to form this Sudbury 5 team. So you can tell the communication is there, and they're there for a purpose. They're trying to make a name of themselves.
Yeah, Glaze averaged about 7.3 points last year. I expect to see more from him this year with a bigger role.
Absolutely. So 7:23 remaining in the half. It's a 1-point game for Sudbury, which has been up and down since the tip in the first weekend of the National Basketball League of Canada 2018-19 season. Racing with the ball. Gets the high pick. Glaze just deserts, swings it around. Quick three from the corner. That's a whiffer. Grayson, oh, got the step. Kicks it right back out. Bland misses a three. And on the putback, Dexter Williams. Me, oh my. So Dexter Williams expands the lead to 3. Patillo goes to work, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play.
Basket's good. Juan Patillo.
Juan Patillo, no stranger to the glass.
Yeah, he's a third-year player, too. Lots of experience. The Express got to be happy to have him back.
And
Big body that's definitely needed.
Absolutely. You know what's interesting, too? I remember him coming to the Windsor Express in the middle of the 2016-17 season, and he made an impact immediately. He was Player of the Week, Central Division Player of the Week in his first couple of games, and he struck it rich, too, a few weeks later. In the Clash at the Coliseum at Caesars Windsor, they won that 93-90. He's a really big body, like you said, and that's one of the main reasons Bill Jones wanted him to come back after a one-year stint with the Moncton Magic.
Yeah, it's important these big bodies, too, are athletic as well. He can really dribble the ball and drive to the net, and he's not afraid to maybe even take it outside a bit.
Is it interesting to see more big guys on the Windsor Express roster as opposed to the plethora of guards we've seen from years past?
You know what? I think it's surprising, especially the way basketball is heading, where a lot of the shots are coming from the outside, but it's not like these guys can't play further outside of the key.
In the wing, Glaze pops it outside. Sarisen misses 3. And that's going to be a foul on Horace Wormley. Horace Wormley grabs right into that cookie jar. He got caught.
Being very aggressive defensively there. Maybe felt like he had an opportunity to get that steal by reaching in, but just kind of got him on the arm.
Glaze gets stripped. He'll get the ball back. 6:16 remaining. Bland. And a good no-look pass inside for Dexter Williams.
Dexter Williams.
You got to have eyes in the back of your head, but eyes on the ball, too. Anderson swings it right out. Quick three. It's good.
Leave Marty open like that. He's going to hit the shot. Great look.
Another 3 from Sudbury. It's no good, and Patillo will clean up the rebound. Wormley gets the pick. Finds Anderson. He knocks down the three. Can you say unbelievable?
The threes are really starting to fall for the Windsor Express as they move the ball and always find the open man, it seems like, on the wing.
Well, that's Ryan Anderson's game. If he finds an open way to get a shot off, he will get it. And a quick whistle on the play down low. So there's going to be a quick confirmation with the referees to see what happened. And it's going to be traveling. So the Express will get the ball back with 5:20 in the second.
Sometimes when the refs have a discussion, you can be a little worried, but I think the Express are happy with that decision there.
And now the Express trying to look for another stop. Last play, Ryan Anderson knocked down the three. And they'll swing the ball around the world. Patillo loses control of it. It will be 5-ball.
You know, that was the right play. He was open. I think you trying to give him that pass so we could walk into the shot maybe. Just got out of his hand.
Absolutely. So once again, the Sudbury 5, from what we've seen from the roster so far, knows a thing or two about providing bodies and trying to finish strong. And when it comes to their guards too, they're not coy to shoot any of the long-range shots. We'll see if that's the case here. Bland one-on-one on Anderson. Tries to get the footwork. 6 on the shot clock. He'll fire it. It barely touches the twine. The Express will get the ball back.
I'm really liking the skill from Bland. You know, I know he got the air ball there, but it seems like he finds the open man often, and more often it's Glaze, but really liking the way he's been playing.
He's a good ball handler. No question about it. Oh, you see, Wormley almost got the step on Blazik. The shot, second chance, no good. Fight for the ball. Who gets it? Addison gets it. Whistle on the play finally. What a dogfight down at the 10.
Yeah, that's just determination. Addison just kept with it. He didn't give up on the play. Some guys would have walked away from that after the third or fourth try. So it's great to see that he has that attitude right from the first game.
It's all about second chance points too. And rebounds, I believe, were like the crucial point in the Express last year. Only 9th in the league when it came to that 43 rebounds per game. So best believe with these big bodies and everybody else just working together, that stat's going to go up.
Yeah, definitely. And it's impressive to see them play today because especially defensively, they've been getting the rebounds and then bringing the ball up pretty quickly.
So you see Brian Addison at the line, was part of Wormley, St. John's Riptide team, 45% from the free throw line as he knocks down that one. Brian Addison, his 5th year in the NBLC. Quick pass inside the Grandy Glaze. That was poetry in motion.
Yeah, Bland to Glaze again. That might be something the 5C all season long.
4:10 remaining. Patillo wants the pick. He gets it. Amarty fires it. Cashes in the 3. The Amarty party begins in Windsor. And Addison not happy with that. He'll get the foul. That was very close from that being a block.
Yeah, I mean, I would show frustration on that play too. You feel like you have it,
right? And
sometimes the refs just take it away. And the refs are at different angles, obviously. And
yeah, we're up here and they're down there, right?
So I really have no idea how close it was, but they usually do make the right call.
Absolutely. See Jalen Bland at the line. Knocks down the first free throw. Coming up in about a few minutes, we'll have the Windsor Express halftime show up here in the media booth. Me and Tate will stand by. We'll find a way to get George Ferris into this. Get him back down the court side as the second free throw doesn't go. Anderson catch and shoot. Oh my! Ryan Anderson just turns his body around. He just lets it fly. That was a risky shot. Tate and the putback. Glaze misses it. And now the Express are on full motion. Anderson takes it home.
You know, Anderson didn't disclose why he left the London Lightning. All he said was that Windsor feels like home, and I think we're seeing why tonight.
A homecoming of all sorts for many players, including Ryan Anderson. 56-46. Well, what a ball game here, and the only downside of it is it's only the second quarter. The Express up 10, 56-46, as we welcome you back at the WFCU Center. Tate Harris, what a game so far, in the Windsor Express gaining momentum.
Yeah, Aaron, we're starting to see those threes that were dropping earlier are still dropping. So now the Express are kind of coming away with the lead. They had a few stops there to help them. And they're just the active hands I'm seeing, and then getting the ball up quickly is what's doing it for the Windsor Express tonight.
How about Ryan Anderson? He was one of your guys you want to look after.
I can only just smile when you see a guy playing this well, and he looks so happy doing it, and you got to be happy to see a player enjoying himself as much as he is right now.
Absolutely. So the Express are up 10. We are 3 minutes 25 away from halftime. Once again, the Sudbury 5 holding their own. And we're going to have a quick stoppage of play.
You know, I had a conversation with Ryan Anderson actually about a month ago. And he told me as well, just like Coach Jones, that he thinks this is a championship team as well. He said, that's what I do. I win championships, and I think this is another team that helped me do it.
He's won 3 NBL Canada titles, 1 with Windsor, and 2 in the last couple of years with the London Lightning, so there's a lot of prestige there. Meanwhile, that shot is no good for Dixon. Amarty finds Patillo, and he misses that one, and it will go back to the Express.
See, that's another example of the fast break that the Express are getting. So often there's 2 5 players behind the play, so it leaves a couple guys open to make the play and often get those shots from down low.
So the Express will get it back as Anderson knocks down the 3.
He might have to ice his hand or cool it down. It might be too hot.
Absolutely. And we're going to have a quick stoppage of play again. Another foul, I do believe. We're going to check to see what the officials say to that. So we're not getting confirmation on what just happened there, but nonetheless the 5 will inbound it from the sideline. Tate, and they lose control of the ball. The Express will get it back with 2:37 to go. What a way to kick off the 2018-19 season. The season started on Thursday where the Magic dominated the Hurricanes over at Scotiabank Center. And then we had a quick day off because of the game postponement between the Highlanders and the Island Storm. We'll keep you up to date with that game when we approach halftime. But hard to believe this is only the second game in the season, and it more or less feels like a playoff game.
Yeah, you can definitely feel the energy in the building, and I think that's what you want on opening night.
We got a quick whistle, offensive foul. So the Windsor Express, they're going to stay at home for a little bit. Their next game is on Wednesday against the St. John's Edge. So we're going to see Maurice Jones back at the WFCU Center with a different team. And as for the Sudbury 5, they got to play at the auditorium in the Kitchener-Waterloo region to play against the Titans tomorrow. Rilliford misses the shot. The putback by Dixon can't get it to fall. It'll go back to the Express.
You know, when you're an expansion team, I'm not sure if I like starting on the road right away, 2 games like that. You would like to start at home, get the crowd into it right away, maybe gain some momentum that way. So it might be tough for them starting 2 games on the road right away.
Absolutely, but you know the Sudbury Five will be ready to welcome that crowd in as Juan Patillo knocks it down, because their first home game will be on the 22nd against the defending NBL Canada champions, London Lightning. The first game at the Sudbury Community Arena. Quick 3, hits off the side. Here comes Anderson, who gives it to Wormley. Wormley on the lob!
There's that Marty party again.
Here we go again, and it's picked off by the Express. Juan Patillo hits the deck. Here's Anderson again. Marty on the oop, and he misses it. That would have blown the roof off of this place, I'll tell you. Relaford misses the 3.
I think our Marty is quickly becoming a crowd favorite here tonight.
Alley-oop Patillo! All thanks to Horace Wormley. And you can see Marty showing his appreciation to the WFCU Center faithful, and we got a timeout. My goodness. Can you still hear me, Tate? My goodness.
Yes, yeah, I can definitely still hear you. I just like to live in the moment sometimes. But this is great to see. If someone told you watching this team that there's only 1 returning player, would you believe it?
No, I wouldn't believe it at all, but my goodness, the Windsor Express find ways to get back season after season. This is a team that's known for putting on a great performance in the second half of the year. But my, oh my, it's all about consistency, and you could see with Wormley's help and all the other guards putting it in together, you could tell they're going to put on a show. But that's nothing to knock on when it comes to Sudbury 5, because I remember Braylon Rayson saying in NBL Canada Storylines that Sudbury is going to witness a great show within itself, and we're seeing that so far from either outside or into the paint.
There's definitely been moments when I thought Sudbury had control of the game, so this is definitely no knock on them. It's just been the last few plays where the energy in the building is helping push the Express to making those great plays.
Well, I'll tell you this. I've seen championship teams from the Windsor Express. I was there when they won it in 2014. It was a great game. They went the distance against the Island Storm. A year later, they won against the Halifax Rainmen. They won another championship too. And then you look at 2 years later, you know what NBL Canada is all about. You compile these players all up, whether they have championship experience or not. But you realize that you got to stick to your roots. And you look at Ryan Anderson, you look at DeAndre Thomas, who are part of that Windsor Express squad. They know a thing or two about championships and pride. So it's good. It's one good thing to have. And you know what? It has to say something when it comes to former players returning to their regular squads.
Oh yeah, it shows that they must have a love for the city. And when you show love to the city, often the city can pay you back.
This is worth the price of admission as Bland knocks down the 3 in the grill of Juan Patillo. Under a minute here, 65-49, the Express lead. Patillo gets it, one-on-one on Gilligan. Wormley lets Thomas go to work. Thomas fights through the damage and puts it in. You gotta love it.
He's just too big sometimes. I remember Dardis once said, Tate, you're not that big. Take a look at DeAndre Thomas.
That shot is no good, and the quick rebound. Here comes Anderson, who gives it to Wormley. The Express will look for the final shot, down to 6. Wormley with 3. Wormley beats the buzzer. Horace Wormley knocks it down. After passing the ball so many times for those lobs, he finally gets his just desserts at the buzzer.
Well, you gotta get a couple for yourself every once in a while. You can't keep buying a pizza and not grab a slice.
Absolutely. I like that. I like that. 69-49 is the score. We're at halftime, and when we return after this, Tate and I will join you upstairs for the halftime report. You're watching Windsor Express basketball.
So public relations is like being a bridge between an organization and their public. As this public relations expert, you are a liaison, so you have to connect the brand or the business or the company with their public in such a way that the public responds to them in a positive manner. So the advantages of taking public relations at St. Clair College is that we have access to the Mediaplex. Now the Mediaplex offers us a converged education. It's one of 3 in the world and the only one in Canada. What that means is that we're taught in film, broadcast, radio, there's graphic design, we do event planning, we write all sorts of press releases, we work in tandem with the journalism club. So at the end of everything, you can communicate any professional message across any medium. So what do you think about public relations?
All right, welcome back to the Windsor Express halftime show up here in the media booth. At the half, it is 69-49. Aaron Sanders, Tate Harris, and Tate, to make a good first impression, what a heck of a way to start out in your first game in the NBLC if you're both teams. What a way to start off the 2018-19
Yeah,
season.
you can feel the energy here tonight, too. The Windsor fans are loving this. We got the Autumn Kings, and they're going to love them, too.
Absolutely.
So it's just great to see. I like what I'm seeing from Bland, who is having a first game in the NBLC, and I think he's playing really well. He's got that great ball handle, and it's going to be interesting to see what him and Glaze can do to maybe try to get them back in the game.
Jalen Bland was able to knock down the first bucket in Sudbury 5 history, but now you got a plethora of others. Grandy Glaze, like you said, becoming really involved with the transition game. I mean, what else have you witnessed that is really to the Sudbury 5's advantage?
You know what? It's just they're driving to the net. We've mentioned it so many times that they drove to the net very well. The Express were struggling with it for a bit. So now you're starting to see the Express maybe force a shot outside, leaving the guy open, and then the 5 are kicking it back out. But they're stopping them play, so it's going to be interesting to see how they come out in the next quarter.
Look, they're down by 20, but at the same time, they're rocking. They're still trying to find pieces to the puzzle and make sure the chemistry works. The Windsor Express, on the other hand, you want to talk about chemistry? How about what we just witnessed right down there? A plethora of veterans and a couple of new players, too, rising up to the occasion.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of what I was trying to say during the pregame show, that the NBL is like that small town. These guys know each other, they played with each other, and we're seeing the result out there on the court, and these guys are having so much fun with each other as well.
Absolutely. Ryan Anderson and Richard Amati getting their piece of the pie, and we've seen Wormley knock down the buzzer beater. I mean, what more can you ask for? That's what better experience is all about, and it's something that the young players can learn on.
Oh yeah, and we really haven't seen many young players get time on the court tonight. Maybe if the lead gets to be any more, we might see some of those young guys, maybe Marcus Jones, maybe a local like Miroslav Jazic. So we'll see tonight who we might see play and how they can perform as well.
If you're Coach Logan Stutz, what would be the keys to the second half for the Sudbury 5?
I think you got to control Ryan Anderson and Amati right now. The tough thing is both those guys can hit the shot from the 3, but they can also drive as well. So it's going to be really tough. That's why I don't coach.
I'm with you on that. See, that's why we're up here doing this game. But no, we go back to the Windsor Express. They got a lot of promise, but they got to find some way to stop that Sudbury 5 team from rolling into the paint, because I bet you it's going to cause some fits if the 5 find ways to come back into this one.
Yeah, I mean, we saw early in the game as well, when they did have the drive, they were converting to get those 3-point plays. So, and that's something that can help them get right back into this. You know, 20 points may seem like a lot, but at the same time, it's not.
All right, we'll see how things unfold here in the second half. But right now, as you can see, the Sudbury 5 69, the Windsor Express 69, Sudbury 5 49 at the half. We'll be back for the second half and the call for that when we return to the WFCU Center very soon. You're watching Windsor Express basketball. Let's throw it down to Jordan Ferris.
We hope you've been enjoying the game so far. Right now, the Express are leading 69-49, heading into the third quarter. The fans here are excited. They're up on their feet. They're making noise, which is exactly what the Express are looking for this season. During the summer and the off-season, the Express made numerous donations to local courts. They started a Forest Glades Recreation Courts, which is a new area of 3 basketball courts. And team president Dardis says that this is their way to make the team local and relevant in this area. As well, the NBA have stated rules that each team needs to have at least 5 Canadian players. In an earlier interview this offseason I had with Aaron Basterfield, GM of the Express, she said that this rule and other rules that will come along like this are great. In the offseason, they drafted Yasik in the NBL Combine draft. Yasik is a Windsor local. Dardis and Aaron both said that they hope that these rules and other rules and the donations they've made in the offseason will add to local talent to this team. Now getting into the game, in the start of the first quarter, the team came out strong and the players and the coach felt that they had the skill and were moving properly as they should be, but they felt like they weren't communicating on the transition to offense, and that's something they spoke about in the first break between the first quarter and second quarter. During the second quarter, the team felt they were much more on the same page. Their offense was there. Their defensive coverage, they feel they still need to work on. They've had some errors here and there, allowing players to go straight into the net. Coach Jones says that's something the team is going to be working on and will hopefully have fixed after half. The team also feels they're on a much closer page. The communication is getting where it needs to be. They feel like they can put last season behind them and begin anew with this game. They're hoping to carry this lead the rest of the game and that they will come out with a win in the first game this season. Now as well, the game is getting a little gritty as players have been chirping each other back and forth. You can tell how much these players want this and that their hearts are in it in the right time, but that has been causing some foul trouble for both teams, mainly the Express. The Express gave Sudbury the bonus in the second quarter, and that's something that the team hopes they can avoid in the next 2 quarters. Stay out of foul trouble, keep playing the game they're playing. They feel like they've got what it takes to come out with a win. Now they just want to work on the fundamentals and get better at communicating and everything they've worked off in the offseason. I'm Jordan Ferris, and I'm going to send it back to the boys in the booth.
All right, we're back here at the WFCU Center in Windsor, Ontario. Aaron Sanders back with you. I'm going to give you quick updates on what's going on around the league. We got 2 other games going on right now, as we declared right now. Cape Breton and the Island Storm tied up at 100 apiece right in the 4th quarter, so that's going to be an interesting game. Moncton Magic slowly getting away with that game, 100-73 against the Halifax Hurricanes. And of course, you know the story that's going on around here. A 20-point game for the Windsor Express at this moment, so that keeps you up to tabs and what's going on around the league. You heard a great performance from the Autumn Kings. You heard Jordan Ferris with a quick update down at the court side. Always glad to have him there. We got a great crew here this year, and so do the Windsor Express, and they're showing it with great diligence and great respect for the Sudbury 5. You do not want to knock them. Their first game, they have impressed this broadcaster tenfold. Logan Stutz have compiled a great group of players, especially with players with great NBL Canada experience. That's what Bill Jones had in his playbook too, getting a couple of players right down that knows the situation, that knows the system, and that knows the team real well. So for this performance to go out to in front of all these fans, this is something you really want to sink your teeth into. Windsor Express, they got a good roster going on, in the Sudbury 5. I guarantee you, for all you watching at the Nickel City, you are about to get your tickets worth every time you come down to the Sudbury Community Arena. Take my word for it. Take everybody else's word for it. You guys have worked long, hard for it. It was all spearheaded by Dario Zulich as part of the Sudbury Sports and Entertainment Group, and they have got a great product, not only in the community, but on the court too. But that's my 2 cents onto it as we approach a few minutes before the 3rd quarter. 69-49 is the score. Windsor Express with the lead. We'll come back for the second half right after this message and a word from St. Clair College. You're watching Windsor Express basketball. Okay, we are back at the WFCU Center. 20-point lead for the Express over the Sudbury 5, the new team on the block. I'm Aaron Sanders. I'm joined by Jordan Ferris, and we're going to be talking right now to the Deputy Commissioner of NBL Canada, Audley Stevenson, who just got up in the media booth. And Audley, pleased as punch as always to have you here. I mean, welcome back to Windsor. What a way to start the season.
Hey, you know, it's always great being in Windsor. I always enjoy myself here. I got here a little late, a little after tip off, but I felt the energy in the building. I felt the excitement of the crowd. Good looking crowd overall, and you know what? A 20-point lead is their gift.
Absolutely. There you go, Jordan.
Now, if I could just ask a quick question, you know, the league has introduced a new rule, the 5 Canadian player rule. What do you think that's going to do for the growth of this league, as it's a Canadian league so far, and like, how do you feel that's going to work out?
Well, it's good. I mean, we've had 5. We're playing the 5, but we have the 5 Canadian rule for a couple seasons now. And I mean, for me, I love the fact that our Canadians are contributing. So it's not just a misconception that they can't participate. They can't. Hey, Canadian drive to the basket and scoring.
There's Devin Gilligan, who's about to go to the line for the and one. But
yep.
You know what? A lot of interesting things, and we boasted since the beginning of the telecast about this Sudbury 5 team. This was a team that was just well ahead ready. I know it took them a couple of years to do it, but this was their off season to do it.
Yeah.
And I think you got to tip your cats off to Dario Zulich and the rest of the Sudbury Sports and Entertainment Organization, and of course their GM and head coach Logan Stutz. A terrific product so far. Oh my!
Wow!
Big time slam from Richard Armati.
Someone forgot about Mr. Armati, left him wide open, and he knows what to do in those open lanes. Present themselves, that's for sure. But no, to your point, yeah, I mean, the time they had to prepare is phenomenal for them. I was out there last week, Monday, and so think of it this way. They've had a lot of time to prepare and get ready, and last Monday they set up a mock game where they just ran through, okay, here, what does our game ops look like? What do our timeouts do? What do our dancers do? Like, they covered all these sorts of things, and that level of preparation really shows you their commitment and how serious they are to making this thing work.
Absolutely. I mean, Jordan, we get back into this once again. Audley Stevenson joining us. Jordan, this is the deputy commissioner that's been part of the NBL Canada since the beginning, since day one. Attained the role as deputy commissioner last year. I mean, safe to say, this is one of the greatest figures when it comes to this league, bar none.
I appreciate the kind words. I am no different, Aaron, than yourself, wanting to see this league flourish and prosper. I just started before you, man. That's all. I got 8 years on you.
Hey, it's my 4th year. I'll plead the 5th on that one.
Now, you mentioned the preparedness of the Sudbury team, and seeing a team do that and the time they had and how ready they were for the season. What does that mean to you, and what hopes do you have that other teams and cities may do follow?
Well, I mean, we talk about the Sudbury 5, but we also have to recognize that they're owned by this SWSE group, which owns the Sudbury Wolves.
Yeah.
So in the realm of sports management, managing sports teams, this isn't new for them. They have a hockey program that has a huge infrastructure in place that can, quite frankly, they've been able to tap into and use, and that's smart. So I think really what this does is, I mean, potentially, this opens up for other sort of similar ownership models to go, wait a second, look how the Sudbury 5 was able to make this work. Maybe we can too. So I think there's some promise in that regard.
Is it safe to say that they took a page out of the St. John's Edge last year, because they had a terrific inaugural season? They were well prepared, and of course, everybody that went to the Mile One Center welcomed this team in open arms, and I have the feeling the Sudbury Community Arena faithful will welcome them in open arms too on the 22nd.
Hey, listen, they're sold out that day. For that game, I was up there and spent some time there. I'm going to go up there myself. It turns out November 22nd is my birthday, so that's a good gift right across the board to be on Sudbury.
How about that? That's no question about it. There's a guy that we have seen a lot in the NBLC as Brian Anderson misses the shot. But Ryan Anderson, after a few years with the London Lightning, he comes back to what he said his success all started in Windsor, as Braylon Rayson, another former Express player, gets that shot to go. So it's quite interesting to see all these veterans come back to either their former teams and just the NBL Canada in general.
Sounds like you're taking a page out of NBLC storylines there, my friend.
Yeah. Like, where did I hear that one? But no, in all fairness, it's quite interesting to see this Windsor Express team, form up. The majority of them are veterans. They know a thing or two about Bill Jones's system, and Logan Stutz know a thing or two about it too. So when it comes to all that, it just shows how developed all these teams are, as Wormley will hold it on over. Quick shot by Anderson, no good. You see, you got to get back to the game. It's that quite intense. Rayson outside, no good.
Really? I mean, I know
Yeah, look out, Gilligan goes into the crowd, saying a quick hello to the faithful.
Sure. He was on an island by himself. There was Gilligan.
With the skipper, Professor, and Marianne, too. But anyhow.
My bad pun of the night. There we go. I'm done.
You know what? I said a plethora of dad jokes myself, so I think you and I are even. I'm sure everybody will forgive us. Wormley outside. No good. Rebound by Rayson. Once again, a lot of people underestimate Rayson, but he got the speed and he's got the confidence to knock the shot down. Bland. No good.
Jalen
Bland, the man who made the first basket in Sudbury 5 history. Loose ball. Anderson, his space. He'll miss it. And Rayson again on the board. Once again joined by Deputy Commissioner Audley Stevenson as Tyrell Tate goes inside. No, that's my mistake. That's Travis Relaford.
Travis Relaford is no stranger to our league. The Kansas product has a lot of success. Great to see him back in NBL Canada once again, and again, that veteran, we talk about those veteran experience and how important that is. A guy like that will definitely help the Sudbury 5.
Indeed. So Relaford misses the three-point play and fight for the ball, and it's Gilligan who saves it. Relaford on the move again, spin move, and a beauty, but he whiffs
spills
it.
Out.
And here comes Wormley. .850 remaining here in the third as the Express leads 73-59. Here's Patillo, spots up, gets it to go. Juan Patillo feeling at home after that brief stint with the Moncton Magic. So do Braylon Rayson, who knocks down the three. So 75-62. Here on opening night for the Windsor Express in the Sudbury 5 in NBL Canada. 8 on the shot clock. Patillo gets it stripped. Rayson will get fouled. That will be on Wormley. Jordan, as you're taking this in, you're our sideline reporter for this year. What are you seeing from both of these clubs so far?
Well, from the Express, it's the same thing you'd expect from a team, who struggled last season. A lot of new guys in. At the start of the game, their communication wasn't there. They came out and each guy was trying to play more than maybe what the other guys thought he was doing. So there was a lot of miscommunication with the team, a lot of shouting back and forth of trying to understand whose role was where. And as for Sudbury, they came out, they seemed to be well rehearsed with each other. They know exactly what they're looking for. Each player is playing the role they've wanted. As the game progressed, the Express, they began getting on page. Wormley has begun to do exactly what the Express got him. He's had multiple perfect passes. He set up 2 dunks in that second quarter. He's been great in the transition, and each player seems to be getting back onto their feet and trying to wash away the performance of last year and the end of the year.
Absolutely. Brian Anderson slammed it home for the Express. The 5 back at it.
Well, guys, a 20-point lead's been evaporated here.
Absolutely.
And you talk about a new club. They've said, you know what, 20 points with us.
And Wormley knocks down the bucket from the key. But yeah, there's a lot of fight. It's like that old adage. It's not about the size in the fight, the size of the dog in the fight. It's about the size and the fight in the dog.
I always mess that one up.
Yeah.
I always mess that one up.
It's a tongue twister, believe it or not. Well, if I mess it up, I'll just boldly say, you know what, it's the first game. First of 40.
Right, there we go.
I'll take it.
There we go. Everyone's, getting the kinks out of their system and, getting the cobwebs and wiping the dust and cobwebs out.
We got DeAndre Thomas back onto the court with 6:50 remaining. Aaron Sanders, Tate Harris, Jordan Ferris, and Deputy Commissioner Audley Stevenson joining us. And a lot of you people are asking, where's JP? He is on assignment. He will be back for the next game, so it's going to be nice to see Justin Prince join the rest of the St. Clair College crew who's producing the Windsor Express this season. A terrific job from the folks here.
For sure. Shout out to St. Clair College for being in the house. I think partnerships like this one are important, and glad that we can have them here to be a part of this.
And keep in mind, too, they also hosted the Draft Combine for the last 2 years, and it went really well like gangbusters.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wormley gets the pick. Misses the three from the top. The fight for the ball. And here comes a 5 again. 6:28 remaining. Grayson all by himself misses the tray. And here's the rebound. Express back in motion. The wheels fall off on Rutherford.
Wow.
And right there, DeAndre Thomas, coast to coast.
You know, you talk about what Horace Wormley does, obviously in the open floor, electric, but to keep that dribble going until the perfect, precise time to play that pass in to DeAndre Thomas.
That's good for him, and he's improved too after spending last year at the TBL. Anderson knocks down the triple. And I'm sure the NBL faithful isn't surprised of his catch and shoot abilities.
We've been watching him do that for years.
Absolutely. One of the few players to stay in this league who were a part of the Ottawa Skyhawks. Oh, Anderson misses the beauty.
There are actually two. Anderson is one of 2 players in the league that were members of the Ottawa Skyhawk.
My
The other one is, here's a skill testing question. Who is that? Who is that player?
Well, keep in mind, we've been throwing trivia questions like who scored the first Sudbury basket, and now we got that. So we'll leave it up to you, the fans, to decide.
His name is Terrell Baines of the Island Storm.
Yeah, we'll see. There you go. Sorry, fans, you're not going to get a prize. The step. And the shot's no good.
Wow, DeAndre.
Andre with the rebound.
DeAndre's been doing that all night. He's been able to get under the rim and just, no matter how many defenders are on him, he seems to get up and get the basket.
We're seeing him more mobile within the last number of years. I know he had to deal with a couple of injuries,
He's
too.
up on the trap.
And the trap pays off for the Express. Anderson, the no look, gets it back. And here's Horace Wormley, gets the 3 to go.
I mean, what we're seeing from Windsor right now, a very veteran-laden club, and coming out of the halftime, Sudbury 5 is going to respond and make that push, and now Windsor's responding back.
And it was Braylon Rayson with the 3 for Sudbury, and I highly agree with that. A lot of people would imagine players who are veterans and played at different teams would have a little bit a loss of chemistry, but you don't see that. This is what Bill Jones said at the beginning. He wanted a team that knows their role, so to speak. That's just a paraphrase what they said, but you can tell you're seeing a whole lot paid off. We're going to have a timeout on the floor here, and we're going to step aside for the commercial break. We'll have more from the third quarter after these messages.
So public relations is like being a bridge between an organization and their public. As this public relations expert, you are a liaison, so you have to connect the brand or the business or the company with their public in such a way that the public responds to them in a positive manner. So the advantages of taking public relations at St. Clair College is that we have access to the Mediaplex. Now the Mediaplex offers us a converged education. It's one of 3 in the world and the only one in Canada. What that means is that we're taught in film, broadcast, radio, there's graphic design, we do event planning, we write all sorts of press releases, we work in tandem with the journalism club. So at the end of everything, you can communicate any professional message across any medium. So what do you think about public relations?
Back at the WFCU Center, Express 89-573. Aaron Sanders, Tate Harris, Jordan Ferris, joined by the Deputy Commissioner of the NBLC, Audley Stevenson, as we about to continue on in the third quarter. Audley, this has been quite a good game so far. I mean, a lot of people got to be impressed at how the Sudbury 5 is holding on and try to get back into this. And the Windsor Express, too. They're finding ways to keep on mending together. But again, I believe the main headline would be the Sudbury 5. In their debut, not bad. Not bad at all.
Well, they fought. I mean, look, we got a lot of basketball still to be played. They fought. They've come out and said, look, yeah, we're a new club, but we got lots and lots to show still. And, I mean, they're still very much in this game, far from done.
How interesting is it to see Logan Stutz play coach his first game against his former team.
You know, Logan, and you know, what a lot of people don't recognize and wouldn't have the opportunity to recognize is how hard he's been working behind the scenes since the moment he stepped in this role. There we go. Travis Relaford. You know, he's from the moment that he stepped in the role, he's just been working around the clock, trying to do his part to make an imprint in the Sudbury community. There was a stretch where I think he and I talked twice a day, every day, for about a week and a half, it felt like. And it's just been incredible to watch and a lot of fun. He just stepped in so seamlessly.
Absolutely. Once again, I'm joined by Jordan Ferris. Tate Harris will rejoin me for the fourth quarter. But, Jordan, once again, both of these clubs looking to make a lasting first impression. And you talked about the Express a lot when it comes to rebuilding this team. This is basically a new team with one returning player, but it's safe to say they're not new faces. They're familiar faces as Gilligan jams that home with the right hand.
Randy Glaze took that down. Randy Glaze with the one-hander. You don't mess around. He'll rip the rim down if you give him an opportunity.
It's a lot of veterans on this team, and the one main thing that Coach Jones says he was looking for was communication and make sure everyone was on the right page. And for only having one exhibition game in the preseason, they seem to be doing a very good job at that.
Absolutely. And DeAndre Thomas knocks on the door, gets the rebound, and that's gonna look like a foul on DeAndre. Got a little bit of an elbow in Relaford. Correction, that's Corey Dixon who got the elbow. So we're gonna see what's going on here. It will be on DeAndre Thomas, and that's going to put the Express over the limit with 3:13 remaining. Well, the crowd may not like it, but that was a good call. It was a fair call.
As alluded to in the halftime show, I spoke briefly about the foul situation. The Express were looking to not give the 5 the bonus, but unfortunately, they've passed that limit again.
Right. But keep in mind, when you look at Sudbury, they got players that could really knock down some damage, finish it off. So we're going to get a quick confirmation. We'll try to listen in. That's going to be unsportsman foul on DeAndre Thomas. That will be his 5th. As you take a look courtside, Logan Stutz getting a confirmation. So 93-78, whole lot of ball game to be played here. And what is the first game for both of these clubs in 2018-2019. And while we have the quick break ahead of us, we'll just go to the scores around the league. We have a final over from Cape Breton in the Island Storm game. Cape Breton pulling through, winning that 122-109. Cape Breton on the move. And oddly, Cape Breton is one of the teams the fans paid attention to because Taquan Zimmerman jumped ship from Halifax to Cape Breton. So safe to say, a lot of veteran talent into a team filled with promise, especially first win for Bernardo Fitz-Gonzalez in the NBL.
Coaching debut, absolutely. But I think what we're talking about here is a team that wanted to do better. They wanted to raise the bar, and they did that by bringing in some veteran talent. They bring a guy like Kenny Jones, who's no stranger to this league, is a beast on the low post down there. You mentioned a guy like Taquan Zimmerman, bringing back Bruce Massey, who at the end of last year really showed that he can score buckets in a hurry. So I think that renewed focus is set to put the Cape Breton Highlanders in a better standing and better place than they finished last year, and they want to do better.
Absolutely. This is their 3rd year. They missed the playoffs twice, but this is the team could do it. You talk about the big ticket Kenny Jones. He finished off with 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2 shy of a double-double. Bruce Massey, on the other hand, ended up with a double-double, 24 points, 10 rebounds. And Taquan Zimmerman in his Highlanders debut, 21 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds to his name. So that's a good stat line. But the honorable mention, the big nod to Jamal Reynolds. He finished off with 32 points.
Yeah. Second-year player Jamal Reynolds, a Canadian, from the Toronto area is showing he can ball.
Samson Carter, on the other hand, for the Island Storm, double-double for him, 34 points, 11 rebounds, and Alex Campbell pulling through with a double-double himself, 11 rebounds and 10 assists.
There you go.
Again, a lot of promise for Tim Kendrick's squad. Meanwhile, over at the brand spanking new Avenir Center, as we get a quick foul there, no question about it, Tyrell Tate will go to the line. The Moncton Magic win their first game at home, 104-78. They move up to 2-0 in the regular season. What a nice start.
Another team that has high expectations, and we're very busy in the offseason.
Yeah, they got a big lineup. I mean, think of it. Billy White leads the way in a plethora of others. Once again, Joe Salermo knows a thing or two about conducting some of the finest pieces from the NBLC. He's one of the longest-standing coaches in NBLC, next to Bill Jones.
Well, I mean, Joe Salerno has been here since year one and had the Express started in year one, so would Bill Jones. But how about this, 93 points, with 2 minutes still left in the third for the Express.
Well,
wow.
We'll talk about this. They're going to top their point per game average last year of 108, which was third best into the league. But once again, still a lot of ball to go. A 9-point lead for the Express. Reggie gets pass blocked off, and here comes the Sudbury Five once again on the move, and a big hammer down, this time by Dexter Williams.
The bench wants a reason to get excited.
And we got a timeout called with 2:16 remaining in the third quarter. High-scoring affair, my goodness.
93-86. We still got a quarter to go, guys.
Absolutely. I'll turn things over to Jordan Ferris. He'll put his 2 cents in and what's going on here.
It was good for the Sudbury Five not to get down, being down 20 points coming into this third quarter. They've crawled back in, and now it's only about a 10-point game, not even. They've cut the lead in half, and they seem to be on a roll right now.
Absolutely. Again, that's what everybody expects when it comes to their first game. Quick tidbit, the Windsor Express have won 2 straight home openers in a row. In 2017, they took the Orangeville Ace to the limit. They won that 95-94, and they beat the Halifax Hurricanes a year after. So now they're on the route of starting things in a nice way at home. But again, still a whole lot of ball game to play here. So the Express will get the ball coming out of the timeout with 2 minutes and change remaining here in the third quarter. For those of you just tuning in, we thank you for watching here on Windsor Express Network. Aaron Sanders, Tate Harris, Jordan Ferris, and Deputy Commissioner Audley Stevenson joining us here live from the WFCU Center. Another year of NBL Canada basketball starting off real great, as we are now the only game in town, as both of those games over the East Coast have ended. So the main attraction lies down here in the
to quote
city.
Tupac, all eyes on me.
Absolutely. I was thinking of another quote, me against the world, but then again, it happens. All these teams vying for the NBL Canada Championship. Tate pulls down the ball with 2 minutes remaining in the third. Here's Tate on the pass. The reverse layup's good. Dexter Williams rising up to the occasion as he cuts the lead to 5.
We'll keep an eye on this, but I mean, it's a very close game, and again, Windsor possibly could top the 100-point mark before by the time this quarter ends. I think the record as a club is 132 points, so I don't know if they're going to aim for that or not, but they could the way they're going.
Wormley, dish out pass inside to Cochran, and he'll get fouled. Luke Cochran, another one of those players that came from the TBL.
Yep.
Trying to make a difference here. One of the signees during the offseason for the Windsor Express.
Make that move up to the next level and see how they can make a name for themselves.
Absolutely. And this is a guy who's going to cause some fits on the high-low as a post player. And if he chases you down for blocks, it's game over. You'll be in no man's land in no time as he misses the first free throw. So we've seen it all in this first game. A lot of excitement the anticipation has turned into a reality. Sudbury 5 holding their own. We've seen a concert at halftime, the Autumn Kings. So poetry in motion, music to everybody's ears. And perhaps a partridge in a pear tree.
There we go.
1:20 remaining in the third. The Express up 6. Watley Jr. is going to be called for the travel.
Extra steps.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the court for Windsor Express, number 15.
Richard Armati returns to the game. And once again, Armati, one of the many players that a lot of the league wanted to pay attention to, especially in his days as part of the Brampton Orangeville A's and, of course, the Niagara River Lions. Speaking of which, I believe he was the guy that knocked down a buzzer beater a couple of years ago at Orangeville.
At Orangeville, absolutely. Absolutely. He was always, Richard loves the dramatics and loves to put on a show. So
Absolutely.
he certainly did on that occasion.
So after that stoppage of play, the Sudbury 5 will now inbound it from the sidelines, from their own bench. And the quick leaner is no good as Grandy Glaze tried to get it in. Anderson trying to beat down Blazik. Amarty hands off to Hamilton. This is Ryan Anderson. Misses it from the front, and Tyrell Tate will swallow up the rebound. Tate, Blazik. Tate again outside, no good. And Luke Cochran gets the rebound. 23 seconds, 4-second difference, shot clock, game clock. 12 on the shot. Armati inside, Addison, free throw line, put her there. Sudbury will look for the final shot.
Brian Addison, another veteran, no stranger to this league.
Tate, try to look for answers. Glaze puts it up at the buzzer. It wouldn't have mattered anyhow.
Looks like they got a foul there, right at the buzzer.
And we do have a foul at the buzzer, right in the nick of time. So Grandy Glaze will go to the line to close out the third quarter. And while we have this quick time, we want to thank you, Audley, for coming up here in the media booth, spend some time with us.
Appreciate it. It's a pleasure to be up here. Thank you. And again, congrats to the St. Clair College crew.
Absolutely. The Deputy Commissioner, Audley Stevenson, as we close out the third quarter. About to get the fourth quarter underway in a matter of moments, but Grandy Glaze will go off to the line. And Tate Harris will rejoin me after all that. So a lot to take in from the third quarter and from what Audley Stevenson has said. They put .7 back on the clock, incidentally.
Well, I'm not sure what happened there. We kind of talked in the halftime that they're going to have to continue their drive. The Sudbury 5 are.
So Grandy Glaze at the line, 0.7 of a second to go. And the rebound by Cochran now close out the third quarter. So now, one more quarter to go. This is going to be an interesting dinger of a ball game. 96-89 is the score. We'll pause here and we'll come back for the fourth quarter after this.
So public relations is like being a bridge between an organization and their public. As this public relations expert, you are a liaison, so you have to connect the brand or the business or the company with their public in such a way that the public responds to them in a positive manner. So the advantages of taking public relations at St. Clair College is that we have access to the Mediaplex. Now the Mediaplex offers us a converged education. It's one of 3 in the world and the only one in Canada. What that means is that we're taught in film, broadcast, radio, there's graphic design, we do event planning, we write all sorts of press releases, we work in tandem with the journalism club. So at the end of everything, you can communicate any professional message across any medium. So what do you think about public relations?
A lot of fun going on. The wheels are rolling for a couple of fans there as we welcome you back to the WFCU Center. 96-89, the Express take the lead over the Sudbury 5. Closing up shop here, Tate. It's going to be a close one, no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes for an exciting game, and that's what the fans paid for. It was an exciting game, so as much as they may not like to see the game so close, they're going to like it.
Absolutely. Sudbury 5, they have that fire in their belly. And keep in mind, they were down by 20 at the half. They found some way to come back. They've been executing perfectly. And it all starts with the cast that's on the court right now. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Terrific job.
And sometimes when a team gets up by, say 20 points, they might get a little complacent. A few bench players start coming out, and then all of a sudden the team has tied it up. So it's one of those things. So that's why I said 20 points is a lot of points, but it's not a lot of points at the same time.
Absolutely. So Anderson will guide the inbounds. We're underway here in the fourth quarter. 12 more minutes here from the WFCU Center, perhaps more. Reggie Hamilton. Brian Anderson. Amarty pops up, misses the shot. And Cerise gets the rebound. Grayson. On the outside, the three is good. Jalen Bland keeps on knocking down those threes, and now this lead is 4.
Jalen Bland's having a great debut. It's probably going to be a night he remembers.
A night the Sudbury 5 will remember, too, as we approach 7 seconds on the shot clock. Amarty again downtown, and he misses it again. 2 straight possessions where he missed out on the 3. Cerise on the kick out to Reeson. They're looking for answers, and they'll find one. Another 3 goes. My, oh my. The Sudbury 5 continue to find a way.
We have a 1-point game now, and this is where the Windsor Express really got to show that heart and that chemistry that we were talking about before. Put it all together and try to get out of with a lead.
So we're going to see Horace Wormley come back in addition to Juan Patillo. So it's safe to say they need some sort of leadership to balloon this lead yet again.
Yeah, again, and we've talked about it. Coach Jones likes that. Horace is very vocal. You can see him waving the play right now. He wants to get it done for this team.
Up top, Ryan Anderson wanted a foul, but that shot will hit the front iron. Sudbury will try to look for their first lead since the early stages of this game. Rayson tries to get the cut, but he'll get fouled.
Anderson not very impressed with that that foul, but again, going to have to keep moving forward and continue his great play this game.
Amen to that. Plenty of game to go. But I want to go back to the Sudbury 5 for a moment. For Logan Stutz in his coaching debut, terrific job so far. You best believe that's going to be a foul as Brian Anderson tacks down Corey Dixon.
Something about the Sudbury 5 that I noticed at the beginning of the game, a lot of the players were continuing to sit on their bench, but now you see them getting up, cheering their team on, feeding off the energy that they've gained, and they might have the momentum on their side currently.
So there is Corey Dixon at the line. He misses the first. So the 5 trying to find a way to regain the lead. And who knows, this game might come down to free throws, the most important aspect of the game, as he misses both. Wormley on the left side, skips it over to Anderson. 10 on the shot clock. Wormley goes, Wormley shoots, and Wormley misses it, but he'll go to shoot 2 free throws.
Again, you don't see a small player, a 5'7", drive as much as Horace usually does. Usually he kicks it back out, but when there's an opportunity to get fouled and put the ball up, you got to take it.
Absolutely. Well, that's what makes boys into men the veteran experience too. You learn a couple of things, and you also share that experience to the rest of the players. So Horace Wormley, once again, one of the reliable people there. 85% from the free throw line last year as he gets those two to go. So 98-95, 2 minutes removed from the fourth quarter as Rayson skylines in and puts it off the glass for two. The Express back up top. Wormley gets the Patillo pick. He'll take the three. Will it be a 4-point play? Well, they're going to discuss it. I believe that foul was away from the ball.
Yeah, I think it came off the screen there, so I don't think it'll be a 4-point play, but again, a discussion has to be had.
Yeah. And they'll count the bucket. So in a rarity, a foul from off the ball might convert into a 4-point play.
Yeah, the Sudbury coach there, Logan, he's not happy about that one and showing his displeasure to the refs.
Yeah, I could see why he would show a little bit of a displeasure, because usually shots like that don't count when the foul's off the ball.
No, and it looked like they did blow the whistle before the shot was made, but again, we're not down there and maybe don't have the best angle, so.
Right. You were absolutely right. Braylon Rayson picks up his second foul, however. That will be the team's second foul, too, as they'll inbound it from the sideline. So the basket will count for Horace Wormley, and he has the ball again. Patillo outside. Anderson catches and shoots, misses it, and Rayson is there for the rebound. Rayson. And a quick whistle. That will go to the Express.
You know, that's two plays that Anderson kind of put up the shot, hoping for a foul, but it may not have been the best shot. He didn't get the call, resulting in a misplay for the Express.
So Horace Wormley will pick up his fourth foul. And the inbounds pass. Here is Gilligan driving down to the lane, gets it in. So Devin Gilligan adds two more, and it is a 2-point game. Patillo looking for options. He's down to the far side. Patillo, one-on-one on Dixon. Skips it right out. Amarty, the fake. The drive, one on the shot clock. He wanted a foul. He won't get it, but it will go back the Express way.
Oh, that was a good drive by Marty. Looking again for the foul. In a close game, you got to take moves like that. Take your chances. Go hard to the net. Didn't get the call that time, but if he does it again, he might get it to go his way.
It'll appear to be a shot clock violation, and in a way, I'll agree with it because the ball didn't hit the rim. The shot clock was due to expire anyhow.
Fair enough.
Rayson misses the trade. A quick fight for the ball. Where is it going to go? It's going to go on Sudbury, and that's going to be most likely a technical foul on Gilligan. No, it won't be a technical foul. It's just confirmation.
Another discussion by the referees.
Well, we're going to have to turn it over to the PA voice of the Windsor Express, Mark Mike, to see what's going on. That's going to be the sixth foul on Gilligan, so I was right. That was the technical foul on the additional foul, so the Express will go to the line to shoot the one technical. And one thing to add into that technical foul too, the NBLC has a couple of new rules in regards to the technical foul. Now see, in this league, you are allowed 3 technical fouls, but there are 2 types of them. They're either direct or indirect, so I will try to explain that as best as I can as Ryan Anderson goes to the line. So we're going to talk about the technical foul. So an indirect technical foul is when a player hangs onto the rim, a delay of game, or anything going on from the bench or the assistant coaches. So just a basic triple
fair
word.
enough, yeah.
And the direct technical foul is, of course, the usual, the trash talking, disrespectfully addressing the official, constant and continuous complaining after a warning, and unsportsmanlike behavior. Now, here's the kicker. Players are allowed 3 technical fouls, and that's a combination of 2 indirect and 1 direct, or 3 indirect. Any of that combination will disqualify a player from the game. And that goes double for the coach and the bench, too, as Wormley shoots it from Chatham-Kent.
Wormley is someone that normally gets involved with the passes.
And Jalen Bland answers back with a 3.
Wormley normally gets involved with passing, but he's definitely getting himself more involved in shooting the ball.
Absolutely. 8 minutes remaining, 2-point game. Wormley fires it. No good. And the 5 bring it right down up court. Cerise, hands off. Racing one-on-one on Horace Wormley, and it's going to be a foul on Horace Wormley.
Express foul number 22, Horace Wormley, his 5th team fourth. In the game for Sudbury, number 22, Grandy Glaze.
So Grandy Glaze comes back in. Another great Canadian content, like you said earlier, Tate.
Yeah, he played for the FIBA team last year, or earlier this year, sorry. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do to help his team get back into this.
In addition to that, he was part of the St. John's Edge last season. Racing on the drive down, fires it from the free throw line. Got it! Braylon Racing fires it up with a lot of pressure in his grill, and it's a tie game at 104. Hamilton outside, got it. So it's a battle. It's basically a shootout now. Racing loses control. That almost looked to be a foul, but the Express have it back. Breakaway, Patillo.
They might have got away with one there.
So the Express open up on a 5-0 run. Blocked by Patillo. From one end of the court, we see him finishing the business, and at the other end, he cleans down the board with a nice block.
2 big defensive plays by the Windsor Express.
The inbounds pass goes in the Glaze. Tate tries to size down Anderson, loses control of the ball. It will go the other way. You can see the Windsor Express bench coming alive after a great defensive stop.
Well, for a bit there, you could have dropped a dime in this arena, and the crowd was that quiet, you would have heard it. They're starting to get back into it. The Express bench is starting to get back into it.
Anthony Otley Jr. gets back into the game as Hamilton gets fouled. Once again, one word to describe the Sudbury 5: gritty. Their approach to the basket, offense and defensively, have been fantastic, bar none. But they got to be careful of those fouls.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the city they're from, a blue-collar city. These people work hard in Sudbury, and you see that reflect on the court with their basketball team.
That's the Nickel City for you. As Hamilton knocks it down. Once again, a very close game. Keep in mind, the 5 were down by 20 at halftime, so there's a lot to be said when it comes to a crucial moment of the game like this. They were able to maintain their composure. Let's see what they could do in this next 6 minutes and 25 seconds of play. Racing from the outside, got it. Braylon Racing showing the Windsor faithful what they have missed out on for 2018-19.
I think, he came into this, he wanted to put on a show and show why he could have supported this team as well.
Hamilton's 3 won't go, and on the rebound was Dexter Williams. Racing takes his chances, misses it. Big time rebound from Relaford. Glaze on the kick out. Greason the drive, the step away, misses it. Juan Patillo with the rebound. He's flustered, and he'll break out of it. 111 to 107.
Patillo was pretty close there, almost giving up a rebound. Would have been 2 opportunities on 1 possession for the Sudbury 5.
Hamilton this time gets the 3 to go. So after 2 tries on the previous possession, he gets the 3rd one to go. Sudbury on the other end of the court will go to the line thanks to Dexter Williams. So how about Sudbury 5 just going back in the court after that basket and be able to knock that one down?
You know, that's kind of what they've been doing all game. We said they're driving the net, and they can be converting on these plays.
So Dexter Williams has a chance to cut this lead down to 3. As we're going to have a quick timeout on the floor. 114 to 109 is the score. We'll take a quick media timeout, and we'll come back after these words. All right, welcome back. WFCU Center, 114 to 109 is the score. Windsor Express basketball is brought to you by Booster Juice. We want to thank the sponsors for supporting the Windsor Express and this telecast for another year. No doubt about it. So we go back to this game, only a 5-point game. Sudbury keeps on pulling through. Braylon Rayson will shoot from pretty much either from the parking lot or from his own swimming pool. He keeps on knocking those shots down. But how about Dexter Williams coming into the fold?
Yeah, I mean, he just keeps driving the net and sinking them as well. When you drive the net, you get fouled. You don't always get it in, but it just seems to be going right for him and falling in to get those 3-point plays.
Absolutely. We have 5:23 remaining. Plenty of game to go here. But the Sudbury 5 team, again, I preach to the Nickel City Choir. You're about to have the finest entertainment the Nickel City has to offer outside of the Sudbury Wolves. But I'll tell you, when the Sudbury 5 come to town, you better get those tickets ready because like Audley Stevenson said, that Sudbury Community Arena is going to be jam-packed and sold out in the first game on the 22nd as Jalen Bland continues to score for the Sudbury 5.
Yeah, I think we'll see Sudbury quickly become a basketball city. Mind you, they got a great player in Quentin Bayfield on the Sudbury Wolves. Top prospect, drafted number 1 in the OHL this year.
Absolutely. 6 on the shot clock. Amarty goes to work, fires it inside, misses it. Once again, the 5 on the move, Adam Blazik. Blazik right on over Williams. Blaze goes to work. Blaze on the outside. The lob gets picked off away, and that's going to be a Windsor foul. So the Express will foul again, and the next foul will put them over the limit.
Yeah, that was a good look by Glaze. It looked like he was going to pull up for the shot. Then he saw the play down low for the opportunity there, which eventually leads to a foul with a loose ball.
So Reggie Williams will get his 5th foul. One more and they'll end his game. As the 5 will get the inbounds pass. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Relaford looking for options. And he does. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The drive and the foul near the free throw line. So this is an issue for the Windsor Express. It comes back to foul trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you try to avoid, but when you play the aggressive style that they play, it's something you know you're probably eventually going to run into.
Reggie Hamilton with 5 fouls. Brian Addison just picked up his 4th. So it might be likely that he'll have a seat for a little bit as this game winds down. And Glaze misses the first free throw. Was saying Grandy Glaze has had quite an experience in the NBLC, only his second year. He was named to the 3rd All-Canadian team in the league last season, so that's the type of promise and prowess you would like to have if you are starting a team.
Yeah, he's a great player to build your team around, and like I said, expect a bigger role from him this year, and he'll probably have a better points per game as well.
So he knocks that down, 114 to 102. 4:15 remaining. Anderson back to work, gets the kick out inside to Patillo. The elbow, no good. The ball's tapped around, it'll stay with the Express. So the Express will have the ball, they'll inbound it from the baseline. Wormley will be the trigger man. And they'll reverse the call.
Yeah, they had another discussion, and you know what? I'm really okay with that, Aaron. If the refs want to have a discussion to get the call right, which I think they did by reversing that call.
They just had to double check to see if everything was all right. And again, those angles are very important.
Yeah.
The quick three is good as Jalen Bland continues the trend, and he'll give the lead for the 5 for the first time in quite some time.
They've been pouring on the pressure here in the 4th quarter, and they finally get the lead that they've been aiming to get all night.
Under 4 to go. Anderson misses the banker. Patillo tried to dribble it out, but he'll get found by Blazik. So my, oh my. When things get close, you got 2 options. It's either you execute or you pressure. You feel pressure. And I highly doubt anybody wants to feel the latter.
No, I think the Express really hope to knock down some of these shots. A few missed plays and some great play by Sudbury to give them the lead.
Blazik knocks down the 3. Adam Blazik gets into the scoring fold himself, and the 5 are up by 4, and Bill Jones will want to talk it over.
Yeah, much needed timeout to talk to his team, get their heads back into the game, relax a little, and see about getting the lead back that they originally had and gave up.
And as Bill Jones talks it over, watch these messages.
So public relations is like being a bridge between an organization and their public. As this public relations expert, you are a liaison, so you have to connect the brand or the business or the company with their public in such a way that the public responds to them in a positive manner. So the advantages of taking public relations at St. Clair College is that we have access to the Mediaplex. Now the Mediaplex offers us a converged education. It's one of 3 in the world and the only one in Canada. What that means is that we're taught in film, broadcast, radio, there's graphic design, we do event planning, we write all sorts of press releases, we work in tandem with the journalism club. So at the end of everything, you can communicate any professional message across any medium. So what do you think about public relations?
Welcome back to the WFCU Center. The Express finding themselves into a hole, but not a deep one, as they give up a lead, and they are down by 4 to a really tough Sudbury team who knows a thing or two about shooting.
Yeah, again, they know about shooting, but it's the drive that worries me when you're in foul trouble here. So it'll be interesting to see the way Windsor D's up when the Sudbury comes down on offense.
Sudbury making a really great first impression in their first game in franchise history. 8 on the shot clock. Patillo breaks out of the pressure and turns the ball over. So once again, that would have been a crucial possession for the Express, but it's those rare errors that can make or break the game.
Coming out of a timeout like that, I'm sure Coach Jones did not want that to happen, but it did, so you got to move forward and try to get a stop here.
Will he get continuation? He will not. It's a foul on the floor. That's going to be a foul on Ryan Anderson.
Express foul number 44. Ryan Anderson is fourth.
That will be his fourth foul, so he's also in foul trouble along with Addison and Reggie Hamilton, who's set to come back in.
I believe Horace is at 4 as well, so.
That's right. Once again, the Express over the limit, the 5 in the bonus throughout the rest of the game. And the free throw goes down for Adam Blazik. What do you talk about Adam Blazik? My, oh my, he had a terrific season overseas last year, playing in the Georgia country where he won the league's MVP.
That's an impressive thing to do, to win MVP in any league.
With a guy that averages almost 18 points, why not? Wormley connects on the 3. It's a 2-point game.
A crucial stop needed for the Express.
And a quick backdoor pass doesn't work out for Sudbury. Windsor will regain possession with 2:26 remaining.
This is the opportunity they wanted. Good defense, forcing a pass where the ball was played out of bounds.
If you're Coach Jones, who do you want the ball to go to for the next shot?
You know what? Ryan Anderson has been hot all game, but Horace has kind of turned it on here, making a lot of these threes.
Here's Ryan Anderson at the button. Patillo with 6 on the shot clock. Patillo's got to go. Spots up. He'll miss it. It's very flat. And now here comes Grandy Glaze on the attack. Dexter Williams on the kick out. Blazik wide open 3. Misses it, and Patillo's there for the board.
Express might have to count their blessings with that one. Wide open 3 missed as they go back and try it again on this possession.
The Express could tie or lead with 10 on the shot clock. 1:40 to go in the game. Wormley up and in. He ties the game at 119. On the other end, the 5 right back at it. The shot's no good. Anderson could try to lead here. Hamilton misses it. Crowd was about to make this roof explode on that one.
Wide open game here.
And the 3 goes. Jalen Bland knocks down the 3, and Sudbury has a 122-119 lead. 1:16 remaining. Wormley gets the pick, drives inside, ball gets poked away, tiptoeing the sidelines is Patillo. He'll jump up, he'll miss it. And now it's crunch time. Under a minute to go. Fasten your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen.
That's 2 possessions where Patillo decided to take the shot and unfortunately missed.
Blazik wants the high pick. Will he get it? He will, off a Glaze. The shot, it's good. Adam Blazik coming alive in the 4th quarter, and now it's a 5-point lead for the 5. Interesting way to put it.
Kind of worked out for you there.
I guess so. 35 seconds to go in the game. Anderson catches, shoots. It goes. Ryan Anderson keeps the Express right into it with this bread and butter after so many years.
You don't feel pressure after a while, after you've been in every situation possible. Great shot by Ryan Anderson.
We got a stoppage of play here. Now, remember, in the NBLC and FIBA rules, you cannot call a timeout throughout the play. You got to wait till the dead ball, so I'm sure the referee would want a confirmation of what's going on here. That's why Logan Stutz is at the sideline. So, again, we're going to see what's going down here. We're at the seat of our pants. I'm sure as much as all of you are, too. So, this has been a terrific game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Sudbury 5 as a debut game, you got to be happy. I'm sure the fans are happy, and the fans here tonight are happy because it has been an exciting one.
And with all the calamity that's been ensuing here, it's best bet that we get a timeout, and we do. We're going to stay right here, Tate. Windsor Express are down 2. Sudbury have momentum. They have the ball. What are your options right now if you're Sudbury?
If you're Sudbury, I think you go for the simple play. Again, what's been working for them all night, it's been the drive to the net. So move the ball, try to get the opportunity to drive to the basket, see if you can convert. If you get fouled, even on the way there, you don't even have to put up the shot because the Express are in foul trouble. I think it would work out either way for them.
Say for example, the Windsor Express get the ball back and Sudbury misses the opportunity. Do they go for a quick three, or can they get the closest basket possible?
Wait, sorry, do the Express go for the quick three? Or?
Should they go for the quick three, or should they go for the quick two? Because, again, there's plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go for the quick two, I think. Just get yourself there and then see where you're at.
Well, this is a fantastic game, to say the least. Once again, the Express know a thing or two about opening up in their first game at home. I mean, that was indicated a few years ago where they won a nail-biter in Orangeville. That was in 2016. In 2017, they beat the Halifax Hurricanes. But you got to go back to 2015 where they had their first home game, and then they lost it. That was the same night they held up the banner for their 2015 championship. It was all thanks to Bilal Bin, who knocked down that three. You see what happens when you've been in the league for 4 years. You collect all this information, you wonder where you're going to put it. I'm basically saying the Windsor Express know a thing or two at keeping their fans on the edge of their seat on opening night.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. The other interesting thing is even during their preseason game, another nail-biter.
Yeah.
So they've been in this situation before. Whether or not they can come out of it is going to be decided by them.
So once again, Sudbury has the ball with 21.1 seconds remaining. 3-second difference with the shot clock and game clock. 18 on the shot clock. Blazek with the inbound. Breaking through is Bland, but he won't get the pass. And Anderson appears to foul him. And he did. The 5 will go to the line. So 18.9 seconds remaining into this one.
Definitely not something Anderson was hoping for, but...
And he misses the first free throw, which is, once again, a fresh breath of air for the Express, but they got to hold on with one more free throw. He misses them both. Sudbury pokes through with the rebound. Blazek saves it. 15 seconds, they got a foul now. Blazek will get fouled by Anderson.
I believe that's 6 for Anderson as well.
And if it is, that's probably not good news because that's the type of shooter you want to come down to clutch situations. And that will end his game. So Anderson is out. So now you got to revert to somebody else that could possibly tie the game or bring it still within one with 12.5 to go.
Yeah, Anderson was definitely the guy that Coach Jones probably wanted to take that final shot. Unfortunately, he's not going to get that opportunity.
Blazek knocks down the first free throw. The 5 are knocking on the doorstep of their first win, as it's 125 to 122.
Looks like Armardi is coming out for Anderson.
Yeah, and Armardi, keep in mind, he's got some good range, too, when it comes to shooting. That might be the other option. Blazek knocks down both free throws, and Bill Jones will call a timeout. We'll keep it right here. Adam Blazek, ice water in his veins, just knocking down those 2 free throws. And now the Windsor Express, they got to look for a quick shot and try to pressure immediately because, again, not a lot of time to do it, but it is possible.
Yeah, it definitely is possible, but I think quickness has got to be their strength right now. They got to get that shot off quick, apply the pressure. Hopefully they can create a turnover. Whether or not they foul, we'll see where it goes.
A nail-biter here. Fans are still waiting in anticipation of what's going to happen next. What a way to kick off the 2018-19 season for both of these clubs. And another interesting tidbit, in the St. John's Edge first game last year, all it took was a Carl English 3 to knock down the win against them against PEI. So if there's one thing we know about this league, that these expansion teams put on a wonderful performance in their first games. The Sudbury 5 is no exception.
Yeah, and you spoke on it too. It's that grittiness that got them back into the game. They kept at it. They kept with their game, driving to the net. and the ball was just falling for them for those three-point plays.
12.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. As the Express will have the inbounds pass, they'll have the option whether to inbound it from the baseline to the sideline, and they're going to inbound it from the sideline. So Hamilton will throw in. 12 seconds remaining.
Interesting to see Andre Thomas out there as well. Probably block some bodies.
Perhaps the first option to go for a quick basket. Remember, 12 seconds remaining. Hamilton will throw in. Inbounds pass will go to Wormley. Down to 10 seconds. He's got to put a move on. Wormley will kick it out. Armati will fire a three. And it's no good. Patillo will put it up down to 1 second, and he'll get fouled with 0.4 seconds. But I think that's too little, too late.
I think you're right, Aaron. I'm not sure. I think Reggie Hamilton was open there. That Patillo maybe could have dished it out to for the three, but nonetheless, he went up, got the foul, but time's just not on their side.
No, not at all. They wasted too much time on that inbounds play. So Juan Patillo will go to the line to reduce this lead. And what will be the Sudbury Five's first win in franchise history.
I'm Logan Stutz. I'm happy with my team's performance with the game tonight.
And that will be a lane violation. So it will go to Sudbury, and they'll just hold on to the ball. Travis Relaford will most likely inbound it to Jalen Bland. He scored the first point in Sudbury 5 history and will hold the game ball for the final seconds. The buzzer goes, and the Five win their first NBL Canada game, and they had to fight tooth and nail for it. They win it, 126-123. Quick thoughts before we head to break for the postgame show, Tate.
It was a great game by the Sudbury Five, but I like the way the Windsor Express play. They're going to have to learn maybe how to play with the lead, not get complacent, and figure out how to keep the lead going into the fourth quarter or the second half.
Absolutely. We'll pause for one more commercial break, and we'll come back for the post-game show in just a moment here on Windsor Express Network. All right, welcome back to the WFCU Center. 126-123 is the final score. Sudbury 5 pulled through a courageous and admirable effort from the Five. They were down by 20, and they were able to get the job done. What happened along the way to give the Sudbury 5 the victory, Tate?
Well, they kept to their game, Aaron. Those drives to the net worked for them all night long. There was moments at the beginning of the game where they did have momentum. They did control the play. It just, Windsor kind of went away with it for a bit there, but they didn't stop their game all night.
Absolutely. And the Windsor Express, I'm sure right now a lot of people are saying they might be putting their heads down, but you know what? This team, again, a lot of promise. A lot of errors you got to fix up for the next game, but nonetheless, a good turnout and a good performance for them in their first game of the year.
Yeah, there was definitely moments where the Windsor Express looked dominant in this game. Tons of stops, getting pressure, turning over the ball, and then going down the court with some big dunks, big threes. It was impressive, but they got to learn how to keep that lead, and maybe that's something that will just come with them. Again, they're a new team together. They had chemistry.
Yeah.
It's just putting the whole package together for them.
I mean, how about Logan Stutz, his first coaching win, too? I mean, he knows a thing or two about winning in NBL Canada, but you know that first win as the head boss, it's got to be sweet.
Yeah, it's got to feel special for a guy like that, even to come back into Windsor, a team that he played for last year, and to get that win. It's just so special. And again, they're away one more game, but they come home. Hopefully they can come home 2-0.
Yeah.
And they can just start the season off on the right foot.
I'll admit, I had good intentions for this Sudbury team right from the get-go, but now they really got to have
some sort of energy coming into tomorrow. So a short turnaround time as they head over to the Kitchener-Waterloo region to play against the Titans. What could possibly be the game plan over there?
Well, they got to stay loose, right? So they were in a close one today. You take the bus somewhere, you got to stay loose, keep the attitude up on the bus, keep everybody happy, smiling, and just continue that good energy for the next game.
Absolutely. And the Windsor Express, they rest for a couple of days, but I don't believe there's anything such as rest in the game of basketball. What do they do now?
Well, I know a few of those veteran guys that they brought back this year are going to go in that dressing room and say, we cannot let a lead get away from us like that again. And that's something they're going to avoid all season long and see if they can continue their great play that we saw in the first half.
Game 1 of 40 in the books. Terrific job. Looking forward to working with you in the whole
I'm excited.
St. Clair College crew. I mean, that's the guy to do it. So that's the story right here. Once again, the final score, the Sudbury 5, 126, the Windsor Express 123. We thank all of you for watching, but be sure you tune in back here Wednesday night where the Express will play host to the St. John's Edge, a team I'm sure they really want to one-up because they swept them last season in the playoffs. So we're looking forward to that. We'll be on 10 minutes before the tip-off time, 6:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the pregame show. I'll have Tate along all the others. JP, Justin Prince will be back as well. But again, we thank you for watching. Have a wonderful night. Be careful out there. So on behalf of the entire St. Clair College crew, for Jordan Ferris, Tate Harris, this be Aaron Sanders saying so long from the Rose City.